What's up everyone and welcome to the club. In today's video, you and I will be creating a sketch illustration of a yellow lab. For today's lesson, I'll be sketching with this mechanical pencil with a 2B graphite stick. Now I want to start by sketching a circle in the center of our page to define the size of the head. Now we're going to add some guidelines to help us create that circle. Let's start from the very top in the middle. It's going to sketch a line coming down the center of our page, all the way down towards the bottom. Just using these short choppy lines. Let's go back to the center and draw another line going across from left to right. Now I'm going to use these lines to help us create that circle. So from the center, let's step up towards the top. I'm going to mark off the top of our circle. And then we want to take that same distance down towards the bottom. So right about here, we're just going to mark this off. And we'll do the same thing across this horizontal line. So taking this distance over towards the left, and then the right side. Now I'm going to connect the center of each mark with a curve to create our circle. Let's start with the top left. So we're going to go around and down. Now the circle doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going to get the right size and placement on our page. So I'm going to go back and just smooth this out. Now with our circle in place, let's go in and start blocking in the facial features. Starting with the eyes, let's find the halfway point between the top of our circle and that center point. So right here, I'm just going to mark off the center of the left eye. And then around that mark, I'm just going to sketch out a small circle. Now from the top and bottom of the eye, it's going to sketch a straight line going across towards the outside. And this will help us line up the right eye. And then from the outside, we're going to sketch an oval, going from the top of that line towards the bottom. Let's go to the right side of that circle in the center. It's going to angle this down towards the right eye, towards the bottom, and then just extend that out towards the side. Then from the outside, draw a straight line coming down, right about here, towards the bottom of our circle. And we'll just pull this in with a straight line. Now here we're just blocking out the basic shape of the head, and we'll come back and add the details later. Let's go over towards the right side and add the nose. From this point, draw a straight line coming in, right about there. And then from the ends, angle this down from the left side, and go up towards the right. From the bottom point of the nose, draw a short line coming down. Just going to angle this down and over towards left, towards the bottom of our circle. Go back to the center, angle this down towards the right. Let's add in the neck. Starting from the left side of our circle, angle this down and out towards the bottom of our page. Let's go underneath the mouth and draw that same angled line. Let's add a guideline in the center of the forehead. Starting from the top of our circle, it's going to go around and come down in between the eyes towards the top of the muzzle. Now let's block in the ear. Starting from the top of the head, just going to curve around the eye, come in toward that center line. Just going to bend this around and then back out towards the bottom of our circle. Let's round out the top of the ear, going out and then down towards that center line. And it angles down and in towards the bottom tip of the ear. Now that we have a rough sketch, let's go back and erase these two guidelines. I'm just going to erase the head inside the ear and over towards the right. Now that we have our clean sketch, let's modify the shape and add a little bit more detail. Let's start with the ear. Just going to round out the tip. Just pull that up towards the side. I'm just going to bend this out and then up along the left side. Let's add a curve along the top of the nose. Bend this up and then down. Also going to round out the bottom. Coming down towards the bottom. Just going to round out that point. Just pull that up towards the right. Now I want to add a little bit more shape to the mouth. Let's start at the top. Just going to curve this down and over toward the left. Come down towards the bottom and just pull that up on the end. Just round this out and just tuck that up underneath. Let's add a fold around the corner of the mouth, just coming down and just pulling that up. Now I'm going to go back up to the top. We're just going to bend this out and then down towards the side. And then we'll round out the right side of the muzzle, starting from the nose, going out and back in. Now I'm just going to curve the chin. Come down and in, and then just bend that down towards the neck. Let's draw the tip of the right ear underneath the chin. Just going to come down and just bend that up underneath. Now let's go back to the nose and add a little bit more detail. Start with a short line coming down the center. And then on either side, we're just going to sketch a small oval for the nostrils. And now we're going to add some detail to the eyes. Let's start by sloping down the eyelid. Start from the top of that circle. Just going to bend this out and then down. Just going to round at the top and pull that in towards a point on the inside of the eye. Let's just curve the bottom of the eye, just pulling this up a little bit higher in the middle and then up. Now from the top of the nose, I'm going to curve the muzzle, coming in. Let's just bend that up on the inside. And adding a little bit more shape to the eye, going around and then down. Let's add that fold on top of the head, coming in and down. I'm just going to step back to create an overlap, going up towards the right. Let's bring this down towards the eye. It's going to go around the eye and then back down on top of the nose. Now we're going to add a little bit more shape to the outside of the ear. Just adding a fold, going around, and then down towards the outside. Now going underneath the mouth, just going to add a fold in the center of the neck, coming across, then down. And I'm just going to add some folds going around the side. So starting underneath the ear, just lightly coming in toward the center line, coming down on the right. Let's add another fold. Now we're going to move in with the tip of our pencil and add some more details, starting with the eyes. Let's start with the eyelid. It's going across the top, just adding some folds, and a little bit more curvature across the top, and also adding a little bit of shading and fur across the top of the eyelid. Let's come down along the inside. I'm just going to darken up the shading, just pulling this up and over towards the left, just going around the top of the eye. Adding that fold underneath the eye. Just adding a little bit of fur along the bottom. And not getting too detailed with this at this stage. Just going to brush some of that fur across the eye on top, coming down. Let's add a glare. Just adding a smaller half circle on the top. Oval on the top center. Now it's going to darken up the top of the eye, going around that highlight, and then we're just going to fade that down. And from here, just going to work our way across towards the right. Adding a little bit more shading coming in towards the top of the muzzle. Just brushing that fur around the right eye. Highlight on top, and then darken up the top of the eye, going around the highlight, and then fading that down. I'm just going to work our way across the nose, adding a little bit more detail, going in towards the nostril. We'll just darken up the inside of the nostril and just fade that up. I'm just going to darken up the nose on the left side and then just fade that in to create a bit of a highlight in the center. So darken up the bottom and then working our way up. Just add a little bit of shading in the center and just fade that out around the nose and the muzzle. Now we're just adding a few more folds just underneath the mouth. We're going to way over towards the right. And just working our way in towards the neck. I'm just going to continue to add some shading around the cheeks, coming down towards the neck. Now the ears are going to cast a little bit of shadow across the side of the head. So just going to darken up the contact point and then just fade that out. Also doing the same thing across the bottom. Add a bit of shadow along the bottom of the ear, blending that up. Adding a shadow towards the inside for the fold. Now we're just adding a little bit more shape to the back side of the neck with one fold across the top. I'm just adding a shadow. Now I'm just going to move to the tip of our pencil and add some light texture of fur across the head, starting around the eyes. Now, as we get near the end, we'll continue to add some more textures and shadows, and always be sure to sign our artwork, and that's pretty much it. There's a sketch illustration of a yellow lab. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you did, please make sure you subscribe because I'm posting new lessons every single week. And if you want to keep drawing with me, you might want to check out this video over here. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.